Alright, welcome back to the channel. We're in a knee wall right now, so stay tuned, you'll see why. Oh, look what I found. He's fairly fresh too, huh? Little snack for the attic. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making two stops. One of them is at a new construction site that we did some duct work and roughing, setting some equipment and stuff like that. And another one is we're going back to do a checkup on an install that we did. A change out, so we're just making sure everything looks good with that. So take you along with me and see what we find. All right, so coming back to look at this, it's actually a contractor's home that we've done work for, but there's some stuff we got to clean up. We did not actually run this flue pipe, so I'm gonna check on some of this stuff because I'm not crazy about it.
Why are you the way that you are?
I may end up redoing some of that, but got plenum on there, lined plenum. I always like working with those if you can, because they're just, in my opinion, a little bit better. But everybody's got their own thing they like, and, you know, some stuff they do differently. But got a media style filter on here, just to give them a little bit better of a filter on the system. But the homeowner actually ran himself some 2x4s to just help us keep this ductwork nice and straight. You can see over there, we've got some that are strapped up too. So overall, it looks pretty good. Just coming back, they just did some spray foam the other day, so we came by to just kind of see how everything looks with that. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Got some stuff to clean up on the system, but nothing crazy. I'm actually glad. You see the horror stories with the spray foam of just like the spray foam guys absolutely covering everything in spray foam. So they actually had a lot of this plastic on it, which is good because we didn't get the whole system covered in spray foam, which would be absolutely ridiculous. Looking at one thing I might have to talk to the ductwork guys about is this. I'm not a huge fan of this. This is pinched off, so we're probably gonna have to fix that. No biggie on that though. Just from the underside, looking at some stuff with the boots and all that good stuff, making sure everything looks decent. So run there. Looks pretty good. Pull all the way flush to the boot. It already passed inspection, but I just like to come by and look at stuff myself, you know. All right, so we were just coming by real quick to check with the homeowner, see how everything was going with the house. Like I said, it passed inspection already, so not really worried about that. But I like to come back, you know, especially if you've got other guys touching and working on the job, to make sure there's some things that you don't want to have cleaned up or stuff that sticks out to you if you're doing this yourself. So overall, it looks pretty good. There's some stuff I got to clean up, but you know, not anything crazy. But we'll get on to the next one. All right, so we were on this next call on a system we put in here. Pretty big heat pump, so we're just coming back to check some stuff, make sure everything's looking good. Always, obviously, I rock with the unions. They're serviceable, clear them out. It's always smart to have one on there. But overall, it looks pretty good. It's holding up pretty good. Good. It's good. They changed their own filters, so, but I'm still gonna check them. That's good. Also, if you're on a maintenance and you got a union up here, just blow the dang thing out. It takes like 10 seconds to clear it out and make sure they're not gonna have a backup anywhere in a couple weeks when the AC really starts running. But overall, it looks pretty good. Nothing to complain about here. All right, so this is really my first, honestly, spring maintenance on anything. So I'm gonna check some stuff out here. We're gonna check some refrigerant, take some readings on the capacitor, amp draws, all that good stuff. Make sure things are looking good. Like I said, OC140 stores your wireless probes perfectly. So I've absolutely loved having them in this bag. It's just, it feels more durable and overall better. Also, something I started recently using was these core depressors from Appion. This thing right here, game changer. You know, You don't want to put gauges on. You try to avoid putting gauges on as much as you can, at least in my opinion, because you do 4 or 5 maintenances and there's a couple ounces of refrigerant gone off one system, especially if it's a heat pump. You're doing it twice a year, so take the extra steps, precautionary stuff, to not try to lose as much as refrigerant as possible. I've loved having these. They're really handy. They're expensive, but they're worth it. So the way these work is, it's all the way backed out right now, but you'll twist this in and it'll push the core in just enough to let you read refrigerant numbers and stuff like that. So I think these things are really, really handy. I've been impressed with them. I've done some checks with them in the winter already, putting them on. So they're pretty nice. So now you're just gonna go up to these and screw them in like that until it all the ways push it in. I don't know what I just said, but screw them in until it pushes the core in, you know what I mean. Alright. Alright. And normally I have a piece of sand cloth. I just ran out, so I gotta get another piece, but you would sand these down a little bit where your clamps are going. That way you get the best reading possible. We're gonna stick our temperature probes in the vents too. Check our temp drop. First glance, I'm liking it. So obviously we gotta let it run for at least about 7 to 8 minutes just to make sure we're checking things while it's been up and running. But stick these temperature probes in and we'll be back. Alright, so got our temperature probes put in the vent. Right now we've got the probe in a vent that is pretty far away from the actual system, so I wanted to put it in one that was a little bit further away to make sure it's still getting a good temp split. It's pretty cool in the home right now though, so that is one thing to keep in mind. And this isn't even pushed in the vent, this is just clipped to the outside of the vent because it got pretty tall ceilings. So 16 degrees isn't terrible right now, it's literally like 70 degrees. We'll see what happens as time goes on. The ductwork in this house isn't fantastic, but they may address some of that in the future. First we're gonna get in here. Bugs already getting in here, so we're gonna knock out some of these cobwebs with a brush in a second. Just get that all out of there. Check everything else, make sure voltage is good coming in. Check the capacitor, make sure it's good. Check amp draw, all that good stuff to make sure nothing's standing out of the ordinary and doesn't need to be addressed. So if you read the capacitor there, we've got a 70 microfarad, right? And what you do is take 2650 times your amps and you divide that by your voltage. And when we did that, we got a 71, which is good. So this capacitor checks out good. Alright, well, while we were here, the customer found some more work for us to do. Some stuff they wanted to get done. So we are going to check out, they want to get another duct ran to this room. They actually already have some existing ones ran. Got that one. And we've got one that they ran up here. So we'll just get a grill for that one, slap it on there. And then one here. That one is not getting airflow though, the last one. So we're gonna get in here. Oh, look what I found. Nice little snack. Look at this. Look at that guy. Oh, he's fairly fresh too, huh? A little snack for the attic. We'll make our way across. So we're just gonna make our way through this knee wall. Nice thing is it's spray foamed on half of this stuff. Alright. So that bad boy right there. Oh, it's cut off. That sucker is cut off. Darn it. So we might cut one through right there. Alright, so here's the plan. We've got this duct that runs to the far end of the bonus room. It's ran, it's just not connected to anything. It stops right here. It's cut off. So we're just gonna get a bag of 6-inch, cut a hole through this wall into the attic, and go from there. We'll get that sucker ran, and there'll be no problem. They did spray foam up there where the existing one that actually is connected goes to. So we'll just cut a hole through that wall and then we can just run it back to the plenum. We'll get a Y and should be good to go from there. So, all right, system number 2. Gonna get the gauges hooked up to this bad boy too. Same thing. Check the refrigerant. This one does not get used very much, but all right. So this is another one we put in. Just checking some stuff for the basement. Making sure everything else looks good. All right. Just giving a look through. Like I said, it's pretty new. We just installed this last year, so shouldn't be anything too crazy. Just want to go over all your connections, make sure nothing's loose, all that good stuff. Same thing here. We're just gonna check our numbers. System looks pretty good too, so we'll keep letting it run and see what happens. All you guys out there that don't tighten the caps with a wrench, come on now, just tighten them with a wrench so they ain't going nowhere. Okay, takes like an extra 10 seconds of your day. So we got those 2 calls knocked out that we had to run today. Nothing too crazy. I'm not really busy right now because the weather's in the mid 60s to 70 degrees, so it's really not bad right now, and people are, you know, they're not really running their AC like they need to be yet, which is fine. The weather's beautiful, but ready for some more busy work for sure. But that's just gonna wrap up what we did today. Just checking over those 2 systems really that we installed. You know, checking the filters, checking refrigerant levels, checking amp draw and compressors, fan motors, looking for anything that sticks out. You know, you don't want to ever forget about your basic maintenance because sometimes that does make a huge difference. In fact, I dare say pretty much all the time it's going to make the big difference of having maintenance or not having maintenance on your systems. And, you know, if we can get more people to understand, more homeowners to understand that, look, this is for your benefit. You're not just spending X amount of dollars for us to come out and fart around, although some companies do that, unfortunately. With us, you know, we like to just make sure that we set them up for success in the future, not just 3 or 4 years down the road, but 10 years down the road. We want these things to last and you know, for them to get their money's worth out of it. So, all right, that is going to be a wrap for this one. So if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to click subscribe and hit the like button, but we'll catch you on the next one.